Canadian marketplace back in 2006 as AIG United Guarantee. The reason why I tell you this is because there are a number of certificates, mortgage default insurance certificates out there that are valid and in force. Just if your client should happen to have an AIG United Guarantee mortgage, they should just treat it as though it's a Canada Guarantee mortgage and break that mortgage every single time. You want to make sure that they're not paying an additional insurance premium to go to one of the other two lenders if that deal's already with us. So we joined the Canadian marketplace in 2006 as AIG United Guarantee. Troubling times during the credit crunch. We had a fantastic leadership team, which we still do today. They immediately sought Canadian investors, and we purchased, relaunched, and rebranded as Canada Guarantee back in April of 2010. Our ownership team is extremely strong, and our ownership team is as well. Our ownership is actually Ontario Teachers Pension Plan and National Mortgage Guarantee Holdings. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with Ontario Teachers Pension Plan, but they're Canada's largest single professional pension plan in the nation. So that's a little bit about Canada Guarantee. As far as us, I'm extremely proud to work at Canada Guarantee. We offer exceptional customer service. I pride myself in delivering exceptional customer service to my lender partners, Jose and Susan. For us, our turnaround time is extremely important to us, and that is why we have very well-defined service level agreements. Our agreement to our lender partners, such as Jose at First National, is that we'll get back to their underwriters within 2 business hours. But we want to take it one step further than that, and we actually track 90 minutes, and we hit a 90-minute turnaround 90% of the time. So I know on occasion, your clients have short closings, and they get to the lenders like First National, and you're pressed for time. Jose's underwriters, but Jose's underwriters have the ability to pick up the phone and call our National Underwriting Center directly and actually ask for that deal to be pulled. And we're happy to take that deal as a rush basis and put that in the front of the queue and get that deal done. Also, something that's unique with Canada Guarantee is that we have a formal escalation process. And what that is that if your lender, Jose's underwriter, doesn't get the answer that they'd like, they're receiving a decline instead of an approval, they have a couple different things they can do. The first thing they can do is they can call the underwriter and ask them to escalate the deal, take a second look, or they can call myself, and I can be involved in that process. So what that would look like is I would take that deal, I can review it myself because I have access to my own system, which is unique as well. I can pull up the underwriting platform. I don't have signing authority, but I do have the ability to look at the deal and decision it myself. I can take it from the underwriter to the escalations person to the team leader to the director of underwriting, and on occasion I even take it to the VP of operations. Once it gets to that VP level, though, my hands are tied. There's not much I can do, but I can go through that chain of command. For us, we don't believe in automatic declines, so if it doesn't auto-approve, which the deal will come back to the lender within 20 seconds, it then auto-refers.
One question.
Yep.
We get inquiries from lenders when our contracts are not witnessed. According to the Real Estate Act, we don't need to witness the contract they signed does not need to be witnessed. But the lenders are coming back to us and saying that they have to witness, you have to witness them.
I would then say you need to follow your lender's guidelines if the lender
But we
wants
can
that
witness that all the
documented.
time. We can witness a signature that's been signed last week.
They
Yeah,
can jump in here,
that's a little-
should they just have somebody
Yeah, but
else?
if you yeah, so they were on their block in Toronto, and the lender says, no, it needs to be witnessed.
Yeah.
Must your stuff be witnessed?
Well, we
contract
certainly
with
prefer them to. And I know that's something that comes up from time to time, I don't know, I've been told our head office says, get a witness, but there are occasions when it's difficult. It's supposed to verify that you've seen the person sign the contract, I don't know, but I'm not a legal expert, so I don't
Some
know if
banks
that's
require
changed.
it, and well, most don't. But some,
Typically, they can like to see a witness.
Okay.
Do you guys have any other questions at this point? Yes.
What are the limits of size, like the size of mortgage? Do you have a sort of cap?
That's a good question. You know what? I'm coming into that's a perfect lead into my presentation. I'm just going to speak real briefly on some government guarantee changes. Are you guys familiar with the government guarantee? So what that is the government has something that they dictate down to us as mortgage default insurer. So the purpose of mortgage default insurance is that myself as the insurer is protecting the lender in the event that the client defaults. So in the event that the client defaults, the lender is experiencing a loss and I no longer exist, then the government would come in and pay the lender. So the government does have say where mortgage default insurance is concerned, and recently we've seen some government guarantee changes. You know, it's been a dynamic market in 2015, and we've seen three, in my opinion, significant changes to mortgage default insurance. The first being in June, we saw an increase in the mortgage insurance premiums at the 95% loan-to-value level. In August, we then were handed down some additional information that we required when submitting, we call it a low doc deal. Each lender has a different name for it, but it's your self-employed stated type of file. So for this, now effective August 1st, in the notes from the lender, Jose's team would submit a deal to me. They would need to put in the NOA, line 150, the gross business income, along with the type of company. Is it a plumber, is it a hairdresser, and the structure. So is it sole proprietor, self-incorporated, or partnership. So those details now need to be input on the system when it is received by itself. And from there, we determine if we think that income is reasonable. If we don't think that income is reasonable, then we'll go back to the lender and we'll ask for additional information. We'll want full financials, and then we'll take a look at the financials and determine any hard costs, take that off, and come up with our own reasonable income to see if the deal still services. Yes.
How do you assess people who are self-employed and pay off income?
So we need if you're doing it as a stated product, if you're doing it as a provable deal, the lender and ourselves will require 2 years, and we'll do 2-year average. If it's a stated income deal, they have to be a business for self for a minimum of 2 years, and then they need to provide that information. And we look at that NOA income, we look at the gross business income, the type of business, and see if that income being stated is reasonable. The higher the income being stated, the more likely we're going to ask for those supporting documentations.
NOAs are the non-service estimates that we get. They declare the income is better, and obviously sometimes we have to send people in general and
For small business, very often there's no income. It's just gross less the net, like expenses. A lot of these small companies, businesses are running basically a loss because of the write-offs that they have. How do you deal with those?
It always needs to meet the lender's guidelines before it meets mine. If your company's operating a loss, from my perspective, I want to know that.
Yeah,
as
so
well.
situations like that are a little bit tough. There's, some businesses that have a lot of cash. There's some businesses that, once again, show maybe a fairly high gross, but everything gets written down. So you kind of have to look at it on a case-by-case basis. Depending on the type of business, if it's got a really high gross and we know that there's quite a bit of cash flow through it, the client has a reasonable net worth, has a good down payment, then maybe we can consider it under the stated program, right? If it's a situation where somebody's earning cash and they actually show nothing, then you're really looking at an equity deal where somebody puts in 35 or 40% and they go to either a B lender or a private lender to get their mortgage financing. The rates are a little bit higher, but there are definitely those options. So
Can the regular banks also do the 35% down?
what do you mean? Like based on equity? As far as I know, they don't. No, there used to be quite a bit of that way back in the good old days, when you could get stuff like that financed, but that seems to all evaporated. So if you do want any equity type financing, it's typically always at a private lender, or if there's a bit of documentation there and a bit of net worth, you might be looking at a B lender.
Do you also deal with investor type mortgage? Cash flow property?
Pardon me?
Cash flow properties, like if you're buying this investment.
Like in a holding co? Purchase in a holding co?
No, just buying a condominium to rent.
So for us, we do have a rental
Yeah.
product, but we're a high ratio mortgage developer, so
So you don't do high rate.
maximum 9 or 80% loan to value.
Yeah, 80%.
So you still have to pay the premium. You probably want to go see another lender that would do that deal without the premium. But there are some cases where the client would need to get the insurance.
You could do investor financing.
For us, that would require that the deal be in, you could do it in company name with personal guarantees, which will allow that, but only under the rental advantage product.
We do quite a few rental properties. We've actually got a very aggressive program when it comes to loan to value. We can go right up to on a rental property on the first 750 and then 50% on the balance, which is quite good. We are a little bit more concerned on the rental income. So the rental income that we use is 50% of the rent added to personal income. So the applicant has to have a pretty reasonable personal income to be able to qualify. But once again, you can get more money that way out of the property. So, but we only do ours in a personal name. We do not do any rental properties in holding code. Correct. Yeah. We got people here who provide you lots of assistance with that.
Thanks, Jose. And then most recently, I don't know, I'm sure you guys have heard, February 15th is kind of the day that the down payment is needing to increase. So any mortgages or purchases over $500,000, now the premium, the down payment, the down payment now increases to 10%. So the first 500 is a 5% down. The additional anything over that 500 is 10% down.
I'm just curious, why is it that change was made, considering that like, there's obviously so many people that are just absolutely reaching, let's say buy a family home, like at least minimal, like a 2-bedroom apartment or something. So that's really pretty much the price range.
But
for that
unfortunately,
kind of thing. It's very
we live in a market. The government's trying to tame the housing market, trying to stop it from going out of control, and that's their way of doing it, unfortunately. And not to give it a guaranteed opinion, but at least if we're built, I mean, we haven't seen that here in BC since they've announced the fact that they're making those changes.
So this is only for BC.
No,
It's
it's national.
federal, yeah, federal.
But it's nationally, but the fact of the matter is in BC, we're the most severely affected of anyone in the country, just based on the fact that we have the most severely unaffordable properties. So the government's done that to compress it and try to stop the market from falling out of control. But from what I see, it's just making things go crazy. This December, you're starting to see things, multiple bidding wars. I saw on the news yesterday that I think it was here in North Van, there was one property that was received 29 offers to purchase one.
Oh, yeah.
And then things are going out of like, we're not 50 over, 100 over asking.
Yeah,
It's
right.
crazy.
400
So really,
A
they're
million.
afraid
Yeah, and
that
that's really,
they're
that's
gonna
scary for
start
us. Like, I have to be honest with you, when we start seeing 300,000 or 400,000 over asking, number one, that's completely outside of our realm, but we would be concerned. Like to answer your question earlier, you asked what our maximum amount is for mortgage default insurance. Is also one of these B21 rules. It's a maximum purchase price. This is really, really important for you guys to know. It's a maximum purchase price of $999,999.99. So if you're in that million, that is not $1 million. As
I know.
soon as you do $1
Yeah,
million,
I know.
that one penny
Yeah.
can make your client no longer, it makes your client no longer have access to low mortgage default insurance. No, I don't really do. I think we're actually lower, to be honest with you. I don't have that stat exactly in my mind, but there's no discrepancy there. That's not what they're worried about. They're worried about just the market getting so out of control. And right now, like, you know what, you can't, what can you purchase? Try to find something to purchase for $250,000. It's just non-existent, right? So, you know what? These are rules that we have to play within. There is no stepping outside the box where these rules are concerned. They're mortgage default insurance rules, and all of us play together in the same field. So, my biggest thing I think to make sure you guys remember is at that 99999.99. If you're in that range for the kinds of purchasing, don't let them accept a $1 million purchase price if they want.
You can't actually see that device and take it. So
And also, if your clients like they want to do purchase improvements, so that's available to us, which is a really good thing for your clients to take advantage of, especially in this market where maximum request value. They're buying their home and they price their first home, loves everything about it. It doesn't happen. So if they want to fix the kitchen, they want to fix the bathroom, now's the time for them to do purchase improvement. And Susan and Jose can help you with that. So if you're purchasing for $750,000, they want to do 50 in renos. You take the mortgage amount and you take the renos, add them together. They need to give the lender cost estimates. We need to see those. For all intents and purposes, we now consider that as an $800,000 mortgage. So this is another thing to make note of if you're doing a purchase plus improvement, is that purchase plus improvements amount can't exceed the 1 penny shy of $1 million. Do you guys have any other general questions for me today? Okay. So I'll jump into the credit bureau portion. I think there's still gonna be time at the end. We'll step through pretty quickly. It is a credit bureau after all. And so, we will start with what is a credit score. I'm sure you guys are all aware that it's a snapshot. It's a picture at a point in time. It's, the numeric score that determines how the clients have actually paid their credit. So lenders and insurers, we all use them. At Canada Guarantee, we pull a TransUnion and an Equifax credit score. We get both of those credit scores, we average them together, and we call that a cycle. Typically, from my past experience in the industry for too many decades, I really don't want to say. TransUnion somehow seems to be a little bit of a lower score. So when the lenders pull their credit bureau, they typically pull one. So it's not uncommon, just so you guys know, that I pull the second one and I see a very different score from the lender. So that can sometimes kill the deal. And another thing to note is that back to government guarantee rules. Government guarantee dictates that your client one client must have a beacon higher than 600. Even at 600 level, that's very low for us. We're more like the 650 plus beacons. But if you had one borrower with an 800 and one borrower with a 500, we might be able to do that deal. If both borrowers were in 500, it would be a hard stop for us and wouldn't be something we'd be able to entertain. So that's what your credit score is. So quick little audience participation because it really gets boring with myself just being one time. Does anybody know what the range of the credit score is?
300 to 800.
Ooh, very close.
Sorry, I was just.
300 to 900. That's very good though. I'm impressed. So 300 to 900 is the range. To be honest with you, it is over 25 years that I've been in the industry, and I've never seen a beacon in the 300s. I have seen 400s, and it's just disgusting. The whole thing is derogatory.
Can you let me explain how this is actually accumulated?
Yeah.
What is,
Good question, and that is coming into my presentation over the few slides. We're going to talk about the whole credit bureau, what it's made up of, etc. And 2 providers in Canada. Anybody remember? TransUnion. Good job. TransUnion and Equifax. We gotta get some sugar in them, right? So there's segments as related to the score, and this is kind of what we generally define things under that 575 beacon score. We define it as a subprime deal. A minus would be 575 to 620, acceptable 620 to 650 range, good 650 to 700, very good 7 to 8, and then awesome 800 plus.
can I just add something to that?
Yeah,
So sometimes the 800 plus is not awesome. Because that means they haven't actually used their credit. Like I get seniors that have like 850, but they haven't used their credit. Very, very wrong. So
it may be a false 800 because they just simply don't have any credit and it's granted to them. But we don't just look at that number. When we look at the credit bureau, we look at a whole bunch of different things. We're going to get into that as well.
You can get new individuals too, just gotten a credit bureau and they've got 1 item or 2 items, they're 6 months open, it's not enough history, but they have really high scores, they haven't used them.
and sometimes that gets declined because I'll be cheated.
Yeah.
It's just not enough. Stay at 700.
Yes, I just heard you need to use your credit. You do need to use your credit, but you need to use it responsibly.
Please have to still items.
Yeah, so for us, our policy on acceptable credit history is 2 trades for 2 years. That's what we would like to see. 2 trades, so we have 2 things reporting. So let's say a personal mortgage and a bank credit card. 2, so that would be 2 trades, and then we want to see them on that credit bureau showing a history for 24 months. So market knowledge, what percentage of Canadians have a score over 650? So do you guys think more people are under 650 or do you think more people are above 650?
More people are under.
Under? No pessimist here. You know what, surprisingly, because I think, you know what, it's just human nature to remember the more negative stuff. I think we do owe too much money, to be honest. I think we do owe too much money, but I think overall, from this slide, you can see that 86% of Canadians have a credit score of over 650. So I think this is a really good news story. Like, but I would say,
That's really good.
ask you guys, what you guys see, you would have guessed a lower number. You'd be like,
Yeah. Not 86 for sure.
Do you have any idea what it is in the States?
no, good question, I don't.
Curiosity.
I don't know that information. So in that 650 to 699 range, which is we're at 11%, 19% at 7 to 750, and then 27%, huge portion of 27 and 24 in the 800s. So overall, I think this is a good news story. Sure.
I think in the States, they probably have severe problems.
Mhm.
Because I was there for 2 weeks and every other commercial on TV was about to be very intense. Honestly, every other one. So I
Is a
thought-
lot of this not to do with how conservative our banking system is versus other countries?
Perhaps, but I think once you award credit to individuals, it's really up to them if they're going to pay it as agreed or not. And I think, employment comes into factor, like our employment rates, if people are working, they're going to want to pay their bills, right? So, here though, we move on to delinquencies. So we went from here showing under 550 beacon score, about 4% of the population. So this is how they operate, to delinquencies by credit score. Now you see under that 499, the delinquencies have skyrocketed. 78% of delinquencies are in that bucket. So if you take anything under 600, a huge amount of that portfolio, the risk is in that portfolio, in that score band, I guess.
There's something's an issue, and if you're looking right when you go to default, they've missed all the payments for 3 months. If there's an injury, loss of job, they could have been 16 before they stopped that. You're looking right at time of default. Their 680 became 450 because 2 months or 5 months.
That number is a snapshot. At that very moment, the client's score was flawed. You can pull that, a month later, and it can be very, very different depending upon who reported to the credit bureau and when, because all the lenders that report to the credit bureau, all their tapes are pulled constantly. Some lenders may pull every 30 days, others don't pull until every 90 days.
If the clients had, as he's just said, if the clients had a 680 or 700 for years, then they have a problem with injury or something, they have a bad score, how quickly can they build that back up if they get back on track?
I think it's hard to say because all those tapes are pulled at different times. In my opinion, the quickest fix is if it's over limit. Like over limit, we're going to jump into this, so I might repeat, but I want to answer your questions. Over limit really negatively affects that score. So even if it's just $1 over limit, they're still over limit. Near limit is significant as well. So I would coach your clients like, don't keep your credit cards and your accounts at or over their limit. Keep them well in line. We're going to touch a little bit more of that in the presentation. So here's some elements by credit score. So here's our pie chart of how it's distributed. So payment history accounts for the biggest section of this piece of pie, followed by amounts owed. So 35%, 30% amounts owed, 15% of the length of the credit history, 10% is when they take out new credit, and then 10% is the types of credit they're taking out. So are they taking out like a major credit card, or are they using a finance company, or whatnot? Okay. So payment history. Anyone listening? Percentage of the credit score? 35%. So this is going to take into consideration things like how are they making those payments? Are they making them on time? Are they missing them? What's happening? Are there collections or judgments, repossessions? All of that type of thing is going to be considered in this payment history segment of the
A lot of the realtors are much better, but I've had worked with realtors that wouldn't make the payments because they wouldn't get that one big check 3 months down the road and they can settle everything. But that was actually hurting their credit because they were missing payments and they were puzzled because I'm saying anybody commission job, they kind of figure, when they get paid, I know I'm getting 3 months or 2 months, I'll clear everything. So you actually have to pay the minimum payment in order to keep it every month. At least the minimum. You don't have to pay it all off, but you have to
what it shows it's an unpaid collection. I don't want to pay it. Even no matter how you feel about it. Sometimes it's just not worth it. And I think that really is a good point. It really depends on the entire deal, the entire credit bureau, everything. If they had one ICBC, showing collection or judgment for a speeding ticket, we might be able to get over that. But then if they have other sloppy credit there, it just might be the nail that seals the coffin. So it's really, they really need to make a mindful decision. Is that $200 or $150 really worth to Susan and to Jose so that we can know the whole picture? Yes.
Only interest, only loans. Now, if the client is not paying the loan but paying the interest, does that affect the credit or no?
No, because if it's an interest-only loan, their actual repayment would be that interest only. So on the bureau, you'll see that their payment's interest only at $60 a month. As long as they pay that $50 a month, that's entirely fine. They're paying that trade as agreed. So we'll move on now. Just want to be mindful of time, make sure you guys get out here for lunch. So credit utilization, it was 30. So these are the amounts that are owed on all of the accounts, the amounts that are owed on different types. So is it a credit card? What kind of card is it? Department store card. And also how much of the credit is being used versus the available. So you don't want to always be in that at your maximum range. You want to have available credit. And sometimes we'll look at the bureau and we'll be like, they're 97% utilized. They've got no room to switch. Their GDS, TDS on that mortgage is maxed out right to the max. If anything should go wrong, they're going to stumble and they're going to fall. And we don't want that. We want clients. We want to be putting clients in homes that they can afford and that they can afford for the long haul. So moving on to the length of credit history. So this accounts for 15%. So how long has that been established and how long has each individual account been established?
So typically 2 years or?
Well, the credit bureau will report for a long, long time. For us, we require a minimum 2 years of credit. And the number of inquiries. So how many times is a client going to apply for credit? Going to, gas card today, gas card tomorrow, loan today, line of credit next day, mortgage the next day. When they start to inquire, they look at their credit secrets. So that is taken into consideration as well. We get to soft card hits and limits. I don't want to move on there. So here we go. Hard hits and soft hits. Have you guys ever heard that terminology? Come on, camera with me. No, I'm just joking. I'm just.
A hard hit would be a new inquiry on your credit score, and a soft hit may be an updated inquiry from a bureau, or not a bureau, but a lender you're already dealing with.
Yeah, good effort. Thank you for
Thank
joining.
you.
Sorry. I'm just really enjoying the camera and I wanted someone else to join me. A hard hit is a hit. At Canada Guarantee, we actually hold soft hits. So all default insurers too. You'll never see an inquiry on the bureau from Canada Guarantee. Because we're like a secondary to First National. First National pulls the bureau. Susan pulls the bureau, you'll see Susan. So now if Susan pulls the bureau, Jose pulls the bureau, and I pull the bureau, you think it's 3, but it's actually only 2 because I'm not going to show. But the fact of the matter is when you pull, okay, so Susan pulls the bureau, and the clients now are client shoppers, and they're going to spend a bunch of time taking up a whole bunch of money. And they go to Susan, and they go to another broker number 2, broker number 3, and they go to 3 different monoline lenders. That's 6 hits on their bureau. But those 6 hits, they're hard hits because they're all there, but the credit bureau will also combine them all and put them into like one. So it won't negatively affect as 6 hits, it'll only affect as 1 hit. And then mine don't show it.
What's the time frame?
You know what? I'm not exactly certain. Here we go.
2 years.
So if they're going within that 2-week period, you're going to push different people, it will be combined. If they're shopping over 2 months, it's going to affect them. But I don't think this isn't a section that's going to impact them drastically. The credit history and how they repay is more important than the trades. There have been times when seriously guys, like credit bureaus are usually like 1 or 2 pages, maybe 3. I've seen like 2 pages of inquiries. So that's just somebody that's going everywhere to try to get credit. And if they're a credit seeker, that's going to be tough.
Can I just interject here too? When a mortgage broker pulls a credit report from a client and we filter it out, let's say we send it to Jose and they and then we send it to someone else. The client's credit is checked again. It's checked once. So one of the things, because we get asked that quite a bit. We pull it, it's in a system. And then when we send it to
I think another downside of having your credit check all the time is that by the time you're getting to the last month, they're kind of wondering if you can by all these other lenders. They're wondering, has your story changed in the meantime or what's going on? So it just looks negative that way too. It doesn't necessarily mean you're shopping, it just means that you have more time maybe getting credit.
What about check your own credit?
Soft hit, it doesn't show.
That's 3 years, that's good.
We're going to talk about how long things stay on the bureau in a minute. Thanks. So types of credit, 10%. 10% is the type of credit. So we want to see like a healthy mix on the credit bureau of different cards. We don't just want all small store credit cards. We want to see a loan, a line of credit, something substantial and significant. And then some irrelevant factors. So we never take into consideration employment or marital status, where they are located in the country, interest rates, or inquiries by the individual, just like the gentleman just asked. So people your own, that is not taken into consideration with the score. So now we will go into the credit ratings. So you guys all so they're all given a alpha and a numeric digit. So it will be an R1. So we have an R1, it's revolving debt, paid as agreed. We have an M5, that's a mortgage with over 120 days past due. Can I guarantee if we see an M5 on the bureau, we're not going to try that next deal. Okay? Especially if we see a foreclosure for a mortgage, regardless if it's held by myself and I take a loss or if any of the other insurers are taking a loss, it's just not something that we consider. So installment I3 is within 90 days and it's a installment. And open, if it's just too new to rate, it'll show the O. And how many years does it affect the credit? So judgments, 6 years. It's for TransUnion and Equifax in BC. Actually, I looked the other day because I was looking at the presentation. Not all provinces are the same. Some report differently for TransUnion as they do for Equifax. So judgment? Oh, judgment? Yeah. It would be, I used to work at collections firm at HSBC years and years and years ago. So there I would collect on individuals and I would take them to small claims court. And then when I go to small claims court and I fight that we're the good bank and they promised to pay and they haven't, the judge would give judgment. Okay. So then you'd see a judgment reporting in your bureau that it's actually gone through small claims court, the amount of the judgment, how much is owing. So judgment will show on there for 6 years. Collection, 6 years. A bankruptcy, 6 years. And a consumer proposal or late payment of debt is 3 years. Here's the thing you guys got to remember. Kind of makes me sad. If your clients go through quarterly payment of debts, OPD or consumer proposal, that 3 years is from the time after they've finished that quarterly payment of debts. So if your client's bankrupt, they go bankrupt today, shows on the bureau, 6 years from now, it'll have fallen off the bureau. If your client's quarterly payment of debts today, their payment schedule to repay all of those people at a reduced percentage is 3 years or 5 years. 3 years on top of that 5 years. So for them, they're trying to do the right thing. They're actually, in my opinion, being penalized because now it's going to stay on the year for 8 years rather than 6. So I think when clients go, if they're in a situation where they do need help, they really need to think through the options. Like at the end of the day, you know, they're trying to do the right thing and bless them. I think that's amazing. But it does affect their credit for longer. You know what? It's not in the presentation. I know that for certain. But I do think you're right. If you are double bankrupt, I think they double it.
What was that?
Double bankrupt. They went bankrupt once.
Oh,
And then they
I
went
see.
bankrupt again. So yeah.
Good luck getting financed.
I rented my place up downtown years ago, and my husband and I were just funny little story. We were debating on who to hire. My husband wanted the older lady, and I wanted the younger doctor, and the older lady was double bankrupt. I wanted credit bureau checklist. So things we're going to look at. You need to look at these things when you look at the credit bureau. You need to look at the client's name, the address, AKAs. They're also known as names. So if I am
Gang
Robert
member?
Smith, and now I am Bob Smith, like those are all going to show on there. And you know, fraudsters typically make different names for themselves. And if the bureau recognizes that these are one and the same people, they'll combine all of those credit reports, and then they'll list all of those AKA names under one. His birthday, save in that packet.
Well, I think maiden names and married names, like that.
Yeah.
Those do end up having AKAs as well.
There's another thing also, is when a lender does state maiden name, or a married name or change of name, and you haven't disclosed that the person is separated, right? But they will want a divorce agreement most of the time.
That just shows a lot.
Yeah.
And also to get changes made on your credit bureau takes forever with Equifax. So doing that pre-approval does help. I've had people where their brother got a mortgage and at that time they were living in the same house and their mortgage was showing on their credit. And it's happened like 3 or 4 times, not just the one. And then if you've got something where you paid it, I've got another client where they paid a parking ticket from 3 years ago, it's still showing as a balance. Or credit unions will still have balances showing and they just never taken it off. So you're gonna need to show that receipt, or you paid out one credit card, replace it with another one, but that balance is still showing. So
It's a really good point. And another thing to add to that is when I was at HSBC, the credit bureau is only as good as the data integrity that's being input into it. So if I'm sitting there as a personal banking officer and I'm keying the information, I just tell your name and I send it, get that credit report, that's permanent record. Like that's not going to change on your credit bureau. You're going to have that listed on your name. So data integrity is important. If the client should pick up on that, they can fix it, but it's just a big process to do it. So the information on there is really important. Like if the lender didn't know the address, 123 anywhere street, this could be an issue. Smart checklist, public records are there, all bankruptcy, collection, judgments, loans, credit history, and credit scores. Never gonna double. So here we go. We have her date of birth, and we have we're going to double check that information matches. We also have the history on where they've lived. So they've gone from Etobicoke in 2012 to Mississauga in 09, and they went to Calgary in 06. So we just want to make sure that this is the right person, needs to make sense. That's truly what happened. And then straight at the top, it's highlighted red with the since date. This is when the Bureau was created. So she's been on the Bureau. She's had something on the Bureau since 1990. Moving into the inquiry section of it. So here we show that we have 3 inquiries since 2013, since December of 2013. So one at Bank of Montreal, one at Bell, and one at Index. So they probably lost their cell phone. It also shows at the section below the total inquiries here. They've had 63 inquiries since 1996. So at some point in time, highly likely this individual, in my opinion, probably have been a credit seeker at some point, test bottom section, we have this. This is the employment section. So we show that they were a John Deere, they were a business service professional, and a teacher's assistant. So this is where it gets really unclear because, once again, like I said, it's only as good as the information that's input. So if you're at a lender, that's helpful to show. And then here we show at the top the public records. So here, April 2010, off of sub BKRPT is the Office of the Superintendent of Bankruptcy. And then right now it shows the liabilities, like LIAB is the liabilities of 340,000. So 340,000, and they had assets of 21,000. So in this case, they were definitely a credit leader, and they had no property. Because if they did have property, it would show in that liabilities amount. It wouldn't show you it. If they had property, you would see a larger amount of that. So if they had 340 in assets and 290 in liabilities, we'd assume that a good portion of that is their home. And then that bankruptcy was paid in June of 2013. So here in the next line, you see, so you see that it's reported March 2014, and January 2014. High credit here was $23,000. The terms would be the payments was a $516 payment, and the balance was $23,000. So here they're at 100% exposed on this credit. The R1, you see the R1 is agreed. 30, 60, 90 days. They've never been late. 0, 30, 60, 90 day counts. This one reported on the bureau for 51 months, and the date last active was January 2014. So then here you see Rogers, same thing. It's reported for 5 months. It's paid as agreed. That's O. Opened and CIBC, we show paid as agreed. Once again, it's at limit at 29,000. And to be honest with you, I don't think you really see a credit bureau that looked like this, because if it was bankrupt, the rest of this would be tragic as well. And this is paid as agreed. So I think we've just taken different sections of different bureaus to show you what it looks like to illustrate. So in this case, I highly doubt this individual would have been 695. But that's where you'll see right at the top. 695. And this whole jargon, this is just a standard line that's always on your credit bureau report, so don't take too much consideration to it. Factors that lower the credit scores, so high account balances, opening things if you don't need them, just open them to use them. It doesn't really make sense. It's better if they're actually utilizing them and utilizing them responsibly. Finance companies will lower it, not enough recent revolving account information, and loan balances are high. So we have some true and false for you guys. Long employment tenure and high incomes equals higher credit scores. False. They don't apply at all. Closing unused credit cards increases the score.
False.
So it's not going to do anything to your score.
On that note, when you're closing, please make sure that they put a note requested by consumer, not by the bank. It must have it.
You can see closed by credit grantor, or you can see closed by consumer. Your clients want to close because they're closing it themselves. They want the rating of closing it themselves. And then rate shopping does not impact the credit score.
That's a part how you make sure the bank does it. Some bank might get bitter that you're closing your credit card because that person mentions nasty information.
I would like to think that people are more.
Here's
I would like to think that people are more.
If you got your report, you take the report that you order, circle it, send it in Equifax, and Equifax will
Well, I
actually.
just never thought check it out.
Mhm.
It's a good habit to do it yearly, once, especially now in like I can pay fraud and stuff. It's not a bad habit. Once a year, check you yourself, check it, right? And then just see what's showing, what's not showing. I checked mine and I had to check it. He said I had a credit card that had been closed, but it looked like the balance was still showing. So I had to call them to watch it.
You can mail it out regularly.
Yeah, I had a recent application with a young couple where I was doing a food and his dad's Mercedes and credit bureau. And it's really heavy. The loan was for $1,134 a month. And this is a appeal. It was like, I don't think that's yours. Right? But it's a process now. It has to be.
What's the difference?
Yeah, same name. So it's good to know what's on there.
And rate shopping doesn't impact the credit score as long as it's in a tight 2-week time. Poor credit score will haunt you forever. No, just maybe 6 years or 12 if you're double bankrupt. My score will fall off if I apply for new credit. No. And my score determines whether I get credit. Not true. So how you can have credit cards with their partners and their credit card, they need to contact Equifax or TransUnion. Contact the bank. It's actually easier for them to get the bank to do it on their behalf. The bank is here than for them to do it themselves. I also, like Susan just mentioned, identity theft. I had a whole bunch of my mail stolen, and it's a huge process. I had to put one of those consumer narratives at the bottom where you indicate like a victim of identity theft, call if you're anyone seeking credit. So yeah.
Put your cell phone in.
Yes.
Don't put your home line because you might change your home line, you might move to another city. And now if the lender tries to call you to verify that he's applying for credit and they try that phone number, we've got some lenders that will make you change that number before they give you credit.
Mine is like that. I think by now it's fallen off, but mine was home number, and I tried to ask for it to be changed, and I could never get confirmation of them if it was done or not. So, good point. If you have cell phone, use that number. How to improve the client's credit score? So, like appeal those judgments, collections, make sure they're satisfied. Like I said before, if they're near or at over limit, that's something important to get those under control immediately. Make sure that they have 2 or 3 trades in that 24-month period. And then here's a tip. We like to keep their credit score high. They shouldn't be over 50% utilized. So if they have 50,000 in available credit, keep it under that 25,000, that would bode well on their credit score. Trades should be mixed. Limit the credit seeking. Limit the number of open trades and balances. And how often should a consumer order their own credit file? We recommend once per year. So it's free if you do it by mail. There is a cost to it if you do it by internet. And basically, guys, we talked about the credit bureau today. I hope you guys saw some value in it. I know you probably look at them quite often, or you know them from the past. It's just a good refresher of information to make sure that you fully understand where it all comes from.
So the easy way to understand if somebody is at 650 credit score and had not paid his mortgage for a year, how much does that really go down?
He hadn't paid his mortgage for a year.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be 650. He'd be definitely in the, like, well below the 500 level. Well, and his mortgage would be reporting as M, probably a year. He'd probably be an M9.
Like I'm trying to understand how fast does it drop and in what quantity, like in what amount?
As far as there's a huge algorithm to it, I have no idea how. But if the client were not making their mortgage payments for a year, and that was reporting on the bureau, it would definitely be at the M7 is regular payment of debts, M8 is repossession, M9 is written off. Because it's a house, I don't know if it necessarily reports 7 or 8, but it should be in that 9 level, maybe not 9 yet, but it'll show M5 for 12 months. So you definitely see that from the credit bureau, and I would venture to guess that's probably pretty low,
Around 500.
probably even less. So, okay, go ahead.
I just want to do the bankruptcy and people going through hardship. It's really important for them to build credit. Obviously, it's very difficult, but please advise, that they can get that's what happens a lot of people go through bankruptcy, but then their income is okay, things are okay, but they don't have any credit, then they still have a hard time getting work.
And here's just some websites if you guys are interested in Equifax, TransUnion, Credit Bureau, and the Financial Consumer Agency of Canada. As mortgage professionals, we post in the